Okay, so now we have successfully created a flower. All right. What I like to do is let's go ahead and select stem, hold down control, hit petals, and hit middle, and go up top to group. And let's call this flower. This way, everything else that we do won't harm what we've done already. Okay. All right. So I want to click on flower, and I want to make several copies of this flower. Now, we know that we can click on this, select and rotate, hold down shift, and rotate this flower and get copies. But that's not what we want. Cancel. What we do want to do is click on flower, click on hierarchy, and let's affect the pivot point of this flower. And let's move this pivot point to the end and to the bottom. So now this flower will pivot on this point right here. And we're going to make some space in between it. So this is the point that the flower will pivot. Okay. So I'm going to click off the pivot point while the flower is selected. I'm going to go up top to tools. I'm going to click on array. Remember, we want to rotate it 360 degrees, but we're not sure which axis we want to rotate it on. So let's watch. If we stay on this Z axis, and let's just make 4 flowers. All right, click preview. It's going to rotate the flowers on the wrong axis. So let's come off of the Z axis. Let's go to the Y axis and see what it does. All right, so that gave us flowers in a circle. And that's kind of how we want it. But we don't want 4 flowers to rotate over 360 degrees. So let's just have 4 flowers rotate over. Let's do 120 degrees. And let's minimize our number from 4 to 3. Okay, so now we have 3 flowers here. All right, side by side. And I want to put them in a flower pot. So there are several ways, but an easy way for us today to create a flower pot is to go over here to our create tab and let's get a teapot. And let's create a teapot right here in the top view. All right, and we'll move them down. Now, let's look at the teapot and modify it. And we can take the top off of the teapot, take the spout off, take the handle off. So we just have the body. And with that, we can modify that body, make it bigger, or just make it taller, like a flower vase. So now we have a teapot that we've modified to look like a vase. And one last thing before we save this, we're gonna come over here on material editor and choose this. We'll call it vase. And I'm going to use this marble. But instead of giving it the color that it has right here, I'm going to change the colors in my map. I'm going to change it to blue, that one, and this one to green. Represent school colors a little bit. I'm going to drag this over to my material. I'm going to click on Show Shaded Material in my viewport. And here's my vase. Now my flowers, like they may be, I can spread them out a little bit. So if I click on one and I go to rotate it, remember where I put the hierarchy, okay? So rotating these flowers actually spreads them out pretty good. All right, once you have a good rendering of 3 flowers inside of your vase, all of them have texture, please save your work.